What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got another Hot Toys review with the 40th year anniversary Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader. I'm very excited about having this piece. I'm very happy to have this piece, I guess I should say. I initially, like I've said multiple times, at least as far as the Star Wars Hot Toys go, I've been primarily wanting to focus on getting the Clone Wars kind of era figures, but inevitably, at some point in time, I would like to have at least one of each classic character. You know what I mean? Like, so obviously having a Darth Vader at some point is indeed a necessity. Like, am I right? Like, you can't just not have a Darth. You can't have an Anakin and then not have a Darth Vader, right? At least that's how I see it. So obviously, I ended up getting this one. It was still in stock there. For whatever reason, like the regular Darth Vader that they had available on the site was sold out. This is from Sideshow, but the Empire Strikes Back 40th year anniversary edition one, so this one here, for whatever reason, was still in stock while the other ones weren't. And this one comes with like the special packaging, as you can see, the Kenner style one, which is very cool. So I'm not sure why people were like, not jumping on this one. I don't know if maybe just because it's technically speaking a reissue, maybe people already have it, and they've had multiple Vaders now, and I know most people tend to prefer the, like, Rogue One Vader. I think that one gets the most love out of all the Vaders they have, but nevertheless, I really like this piece. I'm excited to do the review of it and show everything that it comes yeah, stumbled over my words there. Excited to get into everything and show you guys everything that comes with it. So without any further ado, let's get started with the unboxing and take a look at everything it comes with. All right, so first things first, guys, here is the box. Now, again, this does have the special Kenner edition style box here with it, with the what they're doing with all the 40th year anniversary edition figures, but it does come with a sleeve that represents the more, your typical Star Wars 6-scale collectible figure with the classic black and gray Star Wars logo there. You do see down in the corner indicates it is indeed the 40th anniversary edition. The side of the box, nothing fancy, again with the black and gray. Same on this side, and then your typical credits here on the back. So nothing too crazy. Then all you do is you pop the top. This slides either up or down. It's just a regular old sleeve right there. And then from there, you see the nice 40th year Kenner style box here. And this is a very cool box. Like, this box is cool enough to even just display in and of itself. Like, am I right? Like, this is a great looking box. I love it. It has a preview window, which is very nice. Apologies for the lights. I know they're causing a very large glare on everything, but you have all this nice detailing on it. Pictures on this side that actually shows, the special feature that this version, the Empire version, has, where you can actually remove the top part of the helmet and see the back of the head sculpt. Unfortunately, there is no actually like fully removable helmet. This is all you get. And I know a lot of people kind of complain that this version, because of the way this is set up, it makes his head and helmet just like a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be. But I gotta say, when the figure's out and posed and just standing there, it doesn't look like unproportional by any means. Like, I think it looks perfectly fine. I think I mean, I understand that it maybe is a little bit bigger, but nevertheless, I think it looks great out of the box. So, and on the top, you have your Empire Strikes Back logo. On the side, nice picture of Vader himself, and that's actually the figure. And then on the back, you have additional credits here with, again, the figure post here with some stormtroopers, and you got Boba back there. So it's very nicely done. I really like the packaging. It's very nice. Then, other than that, though, to get them out of the box, top flap just opens up, and then you pull them out just like normal. Nothing fancy with this portion, unfortunately. Not really unfortunate. I don't really know what else you really need a box to do. Am I right? But then you have them out. This fella does indeed come with a significant amount of stuff. And now I know it's very bright here, very glossy here. So I'll try to zoom in a little bit so we can get a better look at the figure here. So out of the box, this portion here will pop up. As you can see below, this has the base and everything for it, and this is probably the coolest part of the Empire Strikes Back version, is that it comes with that Bespin style base. So we will obviously get this out of the packaging, get it all put together, and take a closer look at this once we get everything out. So stay tuned a little later in the video to take a look at that, and we'll obviously have him in some poses on standing with the base, of course. So on this top flap here, you obviously have your additional hands that he comes with, and he comes with a variety of hands. He's got the point, he's got the lightsaber hand, typical stuff there. So nothing too crazy with this. He comes pre-installed with his classic hands on his belt, which I tend to actually like. I've had him out of the box since I've had him, and I have him in like my display case. And that's honestly the pose that I typically go with. I actually just have him still hands on hips, as you can see. And then the only other downside with this, obviously, and with kind of any of these Vader figures, the like pleathery material on the suit, you will over time. People have obviously reported, and it's just unavoidable. Like you could easily get some cracking. So it is kind of a risk you have to take by keeping him in that pose with his hands on his hips there, because you do get the crease. So just thing to note. We'll obviously go over that in a little bit more detail a little bit later. But out of the box, as you can see, I think he looks fantastic. I don't think the head sculpt is like all that big. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, I don't think the head sculpt looks too big. It looks really nice. The paint job's really, it's very clean. It's not any weathering. I think I would like to see at some point, if they do like a Return of the Jedi 6-scale figure, maybe have like a battle damage version of Vader. I think at this point, that's really the only thing they haven't done with Vader. They already have a quarter-scale version, and it's the Empire Strikes Back one that does come with additional head sculpt. So I'd like to see at some point them actually make a 6-scale Return of the Jedi one, so you can have that additional head sculpt and everything. But I think they did a great job with this. It looks great out of the box, and again, I don't think the head looks too big. He has a nice cape. There is no wire in the cape. That's kind of the only, I don't know, if I had to have a complaint, that would be it, I guess. But otherwise, I think he looks great out of the box, personally speaking. And then again, that pops off. And you see the back of his head there, which also looks really, really nicely done. I don't know if it's necessarily needed by any means, but it's a nice feature to have. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's cool that it's there, you know? And I thought, I don't know. I don't think the head looks all that too big. Like, I think it looks pretty damn good. But nevertheless, other than that, initially out of the box, you get his lightsaber arm that you put the batteries in to actually have it light up. Nothing fancy with that. Is what it is. You have the regular lightsaber that has no light up function with a removable blade that you can actually has the D ring on it, so you can attach it to his belt. You have the lightsaber blade there, the motion one, and then all the big boy batteries here for the ones for the base and for the lightsaber itself, and then your extra ball joints, and that covers everything that comes right out of the box. And then so what we're going to do now is get everything all lined up, take a closer look at everything. So here is Darth Vader out of the box with all the accessories, and this is everything he comes with. So let's take a closer look. He's got, well, we got 7 hands here, including the lighted lightsaber arm hand. Unfortunately, with mine, the batteries are all installed and everything, and mine does not seem to work, so I'm going to have to contact Sideshow and see if they can send me a new one. I've heard that this is the first time it's ever happened to me in the past where I've actually had something defective out of the box with it. And I mean, other than I guess my Darth Maul lightsaber, not the lighted one, but the regular one, it is bent. So I'll actually probably contact them about that as well. I went over that in the Darth Maul Phantom Menace review video, so go check that out. I'm not sure if that was a regular thing that happened or if it is just kind of a fluke lemon thing, but otherwise though, this I like the look of this. It looks good. The lightsaber hilts here, it looks good. They even have the different colors. Right, camera will focus. But there's like these 2 little notches on here, and they even have those painted white and blue. So I mean, It's really good. I don't like the actual design and how you actually have to open this up and get into it, because this is a granted, I like that this is seamless so that it, you don't lose that aesthetic of his, glove having like a hinge here or any gap or anything. So, I mean, I like that, but it is kind of difficult to get in here. You have to like turn the arm and you have to kind of like prop it up here, and then the lightsaber hilt's kind of in your way. So, it's not like the easiest thing in the world to actually get into this, but it is possible. And again, unfortunately, mine does not work, so I won't be able to have it's all lit up for any poses or anything, but nevertheless, there's the lighted lightsaber arm. Here is the regular lightsaber hilt with the standard blade installed, and again, you have the paint job on it that matches there. You have the little white and blue, little detailing there. Then your typical Darth Vader Graflex hilt here. This looks very nice. I like the way it looks, and it even has the D-ring on it, so you can attach it to his belt. I like that a lot, because like I said, I typically have him with the hands-on hip pose myself, so you would, in that pose, have this clipped on there, so that's good. Then here we go with the motion blade. And these actually, I gotta say, these give a much better effect than like if you don't have a Sith or Jedi Hot Toys figure, these actually do create a pretty good effect. Like when I first saw them before I ever had one, I was like, is that really necessary? Like, is it actually gonna make it look like it's in motion, or is it just gonna make it look kind of like odd? And I'll tell you what, like it most of the time, it actually, as long as you have it in a natural pose, like a natural like motion pose, an action kind of thing, it does work. It actually, I think I like that they add those. The only downside with those, of course, which I won't be able to demonstrate here, but in my other like Darth Maul videos and Qui-Gon video, you can see the lighted version. If you use the lightsaber hilt that has the LED light in it, with the motion blade, the LED light does not illuminate it very well. And I mean, even on the regular blade, the LED unfortunately isn't really powerful enough to like keep the whole blade lit up in a more quote unquote realistic or screen accurate way. It does create a little bit of light, and it's a nice effect, but they're not, it's not a game changer. I normally don't even bother keeping the lighted lightsaber arms on any of the figures, because it's kind of a hassle most of the time to even turn the thing on, especially with like one like that, for instance. So I typically don't even bother with it. So just think something to note there. But let's take a look at the base, which I think is the absolute the reason to get the Empire Strikes Back Vader. In all honesty, is like you get it for this base, because this thing is really great. It does take 3 AAA batteries. So and they are not provided by Sideshow or by Hot Toys. You have to put those ones in themselves. They do give you all the batteries for like the lightsaber, and then like the chest, everything, and the belt, all that stuff. You get the little batteries for. You saw the little cell batteries that in the beginning of the video. Those are all for Vader himself, but you do have to get the AAA's on your own, which is not a big deal. But it does light up, and it's not like a crazy light up effect. But as you can see, these blink here. And that's pretty much all it does. It would have been cool if they had like some sort of sounds or something. If they could have like, I don't know, incorporated Vader's breathing effect like very subtly or something. That would have been cool. Otherwise though, the thing's very well done. It's pretty simple. It's nothing like crazy, but it's far more advanced than just your typical crotch grabber, crotch grabber, your typical crotch grabber. So it does come with a crotch grabber, so you can still use them for that. But I mean, the paint detailing on it is really nicely done. And you see here, it's got like speckles and weathering and all that sort of good stuff, like even down towards the middle. That looks really great. There's even some like rust and dirt and grime looking effect on this piece of metal here, and it's actually plastic, but it's painted to look like metal, and they did a really good job with that. So yes, I really love this base, and I love the fact that it came with it. I hope that the reissue of Bestman Luke, if they ever get around to actually releasing the thing, it's still on their site with, available soon RSVP. You can actually pre-order it. I hope it also comes with the additional Bestman attachment that, what was it, the DX6? The DX06? I think that was the original Luke one. I can't remember, but I hope it comes with that as well. I don't see why it wouldn't, but I would love to get that to actually complete, the Empire setup here for the Bestman attachments and everything. So Before we take another look at the figure himself, we'll go over the hands here. So you have your this typical like reaching using the force kind of hand here, and on all of them they did a really good job, at least in my opinion, where they look like they look like leather. They look like leather gloves. They look really good. They have a nice wrinkle effect right down there in the crease on the wrist section. They even have the like leather seams going around the inside. So they did, and even as far as having wrinkles around the inside of the knuckles, right in there. So they did a really good job with these. You get a nice variety of them. You know, you got your flat hand, your flat right hand here. You have your regular lightsaber hilt hand. You have his classic point, and all of them have they're all painted the same. They all have the nice wrinkle effect, and they look like real leather gloves. So I like that. You get an open left hand. Then you get a fist, left-handed fist, which I actually like that you can actually see a lot of times they get kind of lazy with the molds and they just kind of like fuse together, and you don't really have like on this one they have like a nice divot in there. You actually tell like it's a hand clenching and making a fist like that, as opposed to being one kind of blanket solid piece of plastic there. They did a good job with that. Not that it's like expect like a problem if they, do that. I don't totally understand why any company would get a little lazy with a fist one and just make the cast and just deal with it. But then you have a lightsaber hilt hand for the left hand as well, in case you wanted to, switch it up. If you want his lightsaber in his hand and then pointing, then you can do that. You can do the lightsaber hilt, and then if you want to do like the classic fist though with a lightsaber, you obviously need to have the right-handed lightsaber hilt and then this one. But either way, nevertheless, that is everything that you get with him. Then you get 2 extra ball joints. The only thing I was actually surprised, normally with any of the characters that have like a leather belt, they normally come with a replacement or 2 little metal balls here, little plates here. I don't even know what you would call these little metal pins. Normally come with replacement ones, but this fella did not come with any of the replacement pins for that. So I thought that was kind of surprising. I haven't never had to use one for any of my figures at this point in time, but I was a little surprised it didn't come with that. So let's get this stuff out of the way here and then punch in and take a closer look at Vader himself, and then get him into some poses and everything, and then wrap the review up, give my final thoughts and everything. All right, guys. So now we'll take a closer look here at Vader himself and all the light up features that he has, and go over, maneuverability, movability. What was the word I'm looking for? Got posability, flexibility. I can't even think of the correct word for it. Either way, we're gonna go over all that. Mobility, maybe. I don't even know. I'm having a brain fart here. So on the back, though, underneath his little skirt part here of his robe, he has an on-off switch here. So you turn this one on, it takes 2 of those batteries that were provided. There are 3 different kinds of batteries, like the ones that go in the lightsaber hilt are different than this one, so make sure you pay attention to the actual numbers that are on it. But this one controls the light up function on his chest. As you can see, kind of hard to see right now because of the lights and everything, but it is lit up and it does blink, as you can see. So there's a very cool effect. There is no sound or anything, which would be like, would have been cool if they added some sound, like a breathing effect thing, but I totally understand how that would be a little bit difficult to do just with the size of the figure. Putting in like a little tiny speaker probably wouldn't really sound that good either. So it's something that would have been cool if possible to have, but by no means a detractor in my opinion, because there's really just not much they could have done with it. But I really do like the addition of the light up effect in general. And this one, unlike the lightsaber stuff, is not like very difficult to get to. I mean, it's just right here and you just turn it on and off. So that's really simple. Similarly, I guess I'll keep it on at least for this part of the video here. Then that is right there. I'll tell you what, that is the only detractor with this, is that it falls off very easily. Like I wasn't even touching it. It just comes right off. That's the only thing I would say is kind of annoying about this figure and that helmet piece, is that it's like the size, like I said, the size of it doesn't actually bother me. Because I know that's like most people's like main complaint, is that it just makes his head a little bit too big. That doesn't bother me as much as like just it's very flimsy as far as the connectivity here. Like a stronger, I'm not even sure if it's magnetized at all, but if they would have had, I don't think it's magnetized actually. But either way, a little magnet in there would really just fix that issue immediately. But nevertheless, similarly to the function of this part for the chest, each of these belt attachments also just detach fairly easily here, like this, and then you screw in the 2 batteries, and then you just pop it back on. Thankfully, this isn't very difficult to get on there. So then, can't talk today. There is an on-off switch on the bottom of each respectively. There we go. So then they also have a light up function. So you can have him completely lit up with the belt and the chest piece. And again, I like that they included this, and it's not very difficult to get to like the lightsabers. It's, you know, it's just quite simple to reach these and turn it on and off. And like most things, like in my opinion, it's not something that you're going to have on all the time because I mean, these batteries tend to run out fairly quickly. But again, it's one of those features that, in my opinion, I like that they add them. Whether or not how practical it is to use it very often, that's just up to you, you know. But either way, in the end, I like that they're there. It's a nice touch. It's another thing that helps bring the figure to life, in my opinion. So then, other than that, this belt can be removed. So you can, it just pops right off and clips right back in. I'm not going to do it because it's kind of annoying to put back on, but it does. Then again, you have your D-ring here that actually, for the lightsaber itself, that simply just clicks in, or it'll just hook in right there, and then it hangs fairly easily. That works out. Other than that, going over mobility on him, you do get some resistance. The suit in general will give you resistance, and then you have to be careful with the shoulder pads here. There's not really like a hinge or anything on it. So you can kind of go out to about here. You can go kind of forward to about here. It is a thick suit, like I said, so you don't get a lot of mobility with it, but you can go out to here. Forward, you're kind of not going to get as much mobility out of it. It goes to about there. But he has a swivel, elbow joints, standard. He can crunch in the chest, he can turn. Just be mindful of, oh, look at that, just popped right off. That's kind of the only other thing with these things, is they don't clip on super well. I think like a little magnet honestly would have been really nice too for these. Just kind of something to help keep it in place a little bit more than just those tiny little hooks onto the belt. But they work perfectly fine regardless. And then going over the leg mobility here again, the suit is fairly restrictive, so you're only going to get like kind of about out to there. Forward about to here. You do have your joint in the knee, so you can get double joint there, so you can get some knee bend, but I don't know how much knee bend you're really going to do with Vader. These Velcro on and off the shin guards, so you can, I don't know why you would want to take them off by any means, but they're attached via Velcro, so they're not gonna, at least you get some nice ankle bend, at least forward motion with it. You have a little bit of a ankle swivel, but the boot's kind of restrictive for that. It is like the pleather material boot, so at least you can't see like the seam or like the gapping there, so it covers that up really nicely, along with the chin guard. So, but otherwise, I really like the design of everything. Like the suit itself looks really nice. It looks very screen accurate with like the pleating and the stitching and all that. The boots look really good. Just like there's not much you can do with it. He's got a lot of cloth. So on the inside, you have like a silky kind of material, and there's like a second layer to it, and that's where the more like nylon kind of fabric is here. Looks really good though. I really like how it looks. You got your shoulder pads going here on the back. And then I mean, that's pretty much it with him. His cape's very big. There is no wire or anything like that. So it's not like a big deal in my opinion. I don't really know if I would do anything as far as a wire goes with Vader. I kind of like the effect of his cape just floating off there. But the head sculpt, or the helmet sculpt, I guess you could say, it looks really good. I think this looks very nice. The eyes have like the red tint to them. Kind of hard to see on camera, but it is there. All the detail work and the paint job of the like the wiring, the mechanicalness of the helmet looks really good. The glare is making my camera not really like to focus on it. I think this looks really nice and clean. Very top there. Then again, the detail work for even like this section here looks really nice. Very nice. There's like another, almost like a carbon fiber looking like kind of material back here. It's kind of hard to see, but then the paint job on the actual scarring on the back of his head looks really well done. Isn't necessarily needed. No, not really, but it looks really nice. So in the end though, I'm happy with the figure overall. I think it looks really good on the shelf. But we'll see here. That's pretty much it. Let's get him into some poses and then kind of give everybody my final thoughts on this and go from there. So there you have it, guys. That pretty much wraps up the in-depth look at the 40th year anniversary Darth Vader figure from Hot Toys. But now, as promised, I have him in some poses. We're gonna take a look at him in said poses, give my final thoughts and everything, and then at the end of the video, I thought it'd be cool to actually add in. I'm gonna start doing this at the end of all the videos. Actually, add in like show you guys where he's at in the display case, what pose he's in, as at the time that the video is being, after it's done, right? So I've done the review, done the unboxing, done the review. Now I have it on display in the case somewhere, right? So I'm gonna start adding in just little pictures or whatever of the setup of the figure in the display case, in the pose he's in, all that sorts of good stuff. So I thought that'd be cool. That'd be a little fun thing to add at the end. So let's without further ado though, let's go ahead and take a look at him here. Now, to me, I think this thing again, I think it looks great. Now, there is the obvious complaint about like the size of the head. I know that is everybody's biggest complaint. I think with the Empire one is that his head's a little bit oversized. Honestly, the only complaint I really have is that the removable portion of the helmet itself is kinda cumbersome. It doesn't I don't think there's, like, anything magnetic, it just kinda pops in, so, like, it falls off very easily. Like, the slightest move of, like, if you're, like, whipping the cape around his shoulders, it just catches it, it'll pop off. That's the only thing, it's a bit cumbersome. I think in general, it looks pretty good. There he is with the classic cape over the shoulder. Previously, I had the capes behind his shoulders like that. I prefer the cape behind the shoulders. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like the cape behind the shoulders or over the shoulders? I feel like when it's over the shoulders, you miss out on all the detail. And like I like seeing the shoulder pads. I think it makes him look a little bit more intimidating. But this one has with the base, all the light up features that are going off on him right now. I it's a basic simple pose, but I really like him when the hands on the hip. Then obviously, you got the classic "I am your father" right here. The whole reason you get this one is for that base, right? I mean, that's my ultimate recommendation for this one is you get the Bespin base. That's kind of the best thing. Now, granted, I have this sped up a bit so the lights do not blink that quickly. Bear in mind, this is sped up, so that's why it's blinking like kind of haphazardly. They don't blink that fast. It's very slow, just like blink, 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 blink. But nevertheless, standing there looking at him, I mean, that is clearly Darth Vader. I think it's a great figure. Granted, again, I do not have the New Hope version, the Rogue One version. I don't have either of those to actually do a side by side comparison with to really get my own view on the like the head sculpt and the size of it, in comparison to the other ones. I hear the Rogue One hot toy for Vader is like everyone's unanimous favorite. So again, I don't have that one in hand. That one's pretty expensive. If I did ever come across that 2-pack with Tarkin, I would obviously pick it up if it was for a decent price. But as it stands right now, that 2-pack's it's going for like $1,200 or something. It's crazy. So I don't want it that bad. Like I think this one's perfectly fine. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any pictures of him with the LED lightsaber because mine is defective. Would not work. Tried multiple sets of batteries, couldn't get it to work. Oh yeah, and I forgot to. For whatever reason, my brain completely I have to correct this so no one gets on me in the comments. My brain stopped working during the final part of the unboxing video, and I couldn't think of the word articulated and articulation. So I was trying to say, let's go over articulation on him. And I was like, mobility, flexibility. I can't even think of the word. articulation is the word. It happens. I was working on this thing for, an hour going into this video, like, I apologize. I know what articulation is, guys, so don't get on me about it in the I say it in every video, I say it every day. I got too many of these things to not know the word articulation. That was all on me, obviously, but that being said, biggest detractor, in my opinion, is not the size of the helmet, it's just that the thing pops off so damn easy. That's the one, like, biggest complaint that I have on it in general. Now, as far as functionality goes, though, his hands are kind of annoying to put on and off because 'cause he's got the leather coat part on his wrist, and the whole glove part it's one cast, which is great for seams. Like, you don't see any seams in between his wrist, right? That's completely gone because they have the entire glove and gauntlet portion. It's one cast. The downside is it's sometimes pretty difficult to actually get the ball joint little peg to go into the hand because you gotta. This is a let me and that's what she said thing all over it, but you gotta go in about an inch because you got an inch worth of gap there for the gauntlet before you get to the ball peg. So when with just the thickness of the pleather material, it sometimes makes it a little difficult to actually switch out the hands. Not anything like terrible, just something to note for anybody out there who's potentially, if that stuff bothers you, you're pretty much going to run into that with any sort of Vader figure as long as he has that style, material for the pleathery material for his outfit. So unavoidable, just something I wanted to note. And then the boots and the ankle joints, you barely get any movement out of it, and I don't know if that's by virtue of the figure that they used in this, if it's just the boot material itself, but, like, you get some forward swivel, but as far as side to side, it's damn near doesn't move. Like, it's damn near just a stiff ankle joint, like, in all honesty. So, I guess that would be I don't find it too big of a detractor for this figure because the suit is so restrictive as it is. It's not like you can really get him into any dynamic poses that would really kind of need to make use of having the ankle mobility. So that's why I don't really consider it a detractor, but it is just something to note. Everything else, though, I think is great about it. Like the material, like of the suit and everything, is very accurate. It looks great. The LED light up functions is all good. Um, I mean, that's really it. Like, I don't really have any other detractors. I mean, the positives is just, like, I think it looks overall great. Like, you can see the nice gloss finish on the black, reflects all the lighting on it, like, really well. I think it looks good. And the one thing I did notice as soon as I pulled him out of the box, though, I was like, I don't think you don't notice this when at least I never really noticed it. Didn't stand out to me until I got this figure anyway. Of all the times I've watched, the Star Wars movies and seen Darth Vader on screen and video games and all that stuff, the dude wears a lot of cloth. Like, he's got this, like, cloth thing on it doesn't seem like a lot, right? Just because, well, it's just like, "Rob, it's just a cape and the little robe thing. It's not really that much." No, but the cape is really big. Like, the cape is big enough to, like, wrap around him entirely. So, like, you combine that with the little robe skirty thing that he's got on, the tunic and robe combo, it's like the boy's wearing a lot of cloth. So but yeah, so that's why I kinda like the cape behind because if you use it over the shoulders and everything, it kinda covers up the whole figure. Not I'm not really a fan of that. I like actually being able to see all the nice details and stuff like that. So, the only thing I really wish for is I wish it had just a completely alternate head sculpt as opposed to the removable helmet, just the back portion. Ah, hopefully, they make a 6 scale Return of the Jedi version that actually comes with the additional head sculpt, and then just like because they have the quarter scale, Hot Toys made a quarter scale Vader, from Return of the Jedi, but they have never made a 6 scale Vader from Return of the Jedi. But that quarter scale one comes with a helmet that is actually, like, fully, like, detachable, so you can actually display it really cool with, like, all like, 3 or 4 different pieces come out detached from it, so you can they provided a display to where you can actually have all the pieces kinda, like, hovering over themselves, and it looks really cool, and then you have just a regular solid, fully assembled helmet head sculpt in addition to that one. So I really wish or hope maybe one day they do make a 6 scale Return of the Jedi version just for that purpose, because it's really cool to be able to have the kind of, removable helmet on display, or you can actually pose it, recreate the final scene with his full face sculpt, as opposed to this one where just the top part comes off and you only see the back. So that's kind of like a dream, is something I wish, is that instead of doing the removable helmet just for the back, if it just had a fully removable helmet and then a secondary solid helmet sculpt for an alternate head. That would be the only thing that I think would really, really, really improve on the figure. Elsewise, everything's just personal preference, right? Like, if you think the head's too big on this one, then get the A New Hope or Rogue One version. And that's really the only way around it right now, unless they make that Return of the Jedi one. So, nevertheless, though, again, if you don't have one, I believe this guy is, if you don't have any Darth Vader, I do recommend getting this one. I believe it is still available from Sideshow for like normal price and everything. I think it's still in stock there, the 40th year anniversary edition. They had, like I said during the review, they had another one on there that's like waitlisted, but it's not the 40th year one. So this one should still be in stock though. They just started shipping within the last month or two, so they should be pretty easy to find right now. But I'm sure over time they're probably going to be selling out in a lot of places and becoming a little bit harder to find as time goes on. But otherwise, though, that pretty much wraps everything up. I love the base, super good. And again, I'll have to contact Sideshow about getting a new LED lightsaber arm. But with that said, let's take a look at where he's at on display in the case right now. So this is what we got. So if you watch the Deathstroke video, the Hot Toys Deathstroke review, I gave a little tease of my new DTOF setup here. So everything you see in this right now is not final. I actually just, for one, I have a bunch of stuff in here that's not going to actually be in here just to fill it out for right now, because I still have some things on the way, we'll say. And then if you noticed before from the last video, I did not have the black backdrop behind it. I just threw that in last night just to kind of see what it looks like. I really like it. I think it looks good. Only downside is I haven't been able to get my lighting for this. So as you can see, it really makes it really dark, makes it hard to see, especially the Death Trooper, Maul, like both the Maul's Vader. Anybody who's wearing darker clothes, having that black backdrop without the lighting, it's not the greatest. But otherwise, though, it looks great. Once I can actually get the lights and install the lighting in it, I think the black backdrop would have a really nice effect. That being said, I do have something else I'm trying for the backdrop, and it should be here Monday. This upcoming, it should be here next Monday. So stay tuned for next week's video, assuming I get it and on Monday, and I have time to install it before the next review that'll go up on Wednesday. I will, at the end of that video, have a little tease of how that looks. Hopefully, I'm trying to get the lighting has been out of stock, so I'm still waiting on that. But obviously more on that. Once I have all that stuff complete, I'll obviously do like a full room tour and all that sort of stuff. And but for right now, I'm just kind of sharing where he's at. So this is not final again, and right now I have him filling in this gap here. So what I'm planning on doing is having 3 Mauls on the top shelf of this. So I have the Solo Maul. This would obviously be for the Clone Wars Maul where Vader currently is, and then the Phantom Menace Maul here with the speeder bike and everything. That is in the first one. So it'll be a top shelf Maul situation. I don't really have anything else planned other than that. I was probably thinking about maybe once I get Clone Wars Anakin, have him like here, then maybe Vader next to him, Vader below him. I don't know, haven't decided. But either way, this is the current setup here. I built the bench, if you remember from last week. Then I have this Besta unit here. I mentioned the Besta unit. This is what I was talking about. I have like my TV stand over here. And then, and I have statues here. You can't see this display, technically speaking, is not complete either. Because if you notice right here, that's actually my PS5 and not another 6 scale or 4 scale Dragon Ball statue that I want. Unfortunately, I had one I was going to be picking up, And I have a Vegeta one here and a Vegeta one here and a Goku Black one here. So I was kind of leaning towards just wanting to get another Goku Black one just to put down here. And I was going to get one, but the dimensions that are listed on the site are too big for the Besta. So really disappointing because it was a really amazing piece. If you're interested in looking to see what it was, it's the UK Studio Goku Black, and it's the one where he has his scythe. Amazing looking. The thing is just too big for the Besta, so I can't get it, unfortunately. But nevertheless, we'll take a look at this. So here's a closer shot, and again, I don't have the lighting in here, so I apologize. I just had to use my camera flash, and this was just my cell phone too. I tried to get the white balance and the ISO settings and everything at least decent enough to see everything. So this is where we're at right now. As you can see, the black backdrop, if you're wondering what it is, it's actually just some black curtains that I had to spare. So I just threw them behind there, and I just wanted to kind of see it. I did that last night. Just wanted to see what it looked like. And again, I think it looks really cool. Especially it pairs well with the Besta because it's the black Besta. So the inside of those display case sections is also all black. So it kind of creates some some symmetry, rhymes, as George Lucas would say. But I like that. I did. If you've been paying attention, I normally do every Friday on stream. We do the figure previews, and I do like the unboxings and give previews of some new figures. There's one in here that I did not do a preview on, and I'll just leave it at that because I'll do the preview for this upcoming stream. So this Friday I'll bring him out and I'll do a little unboxing and preview because his reviews he's gonna be a little down the line. I got a queue right now. I just do one review a week, and I'm getting a little backed up. I'm getting figures in far sooner than I can do the reviews. So here's just another shot. I have one of my Neopixel Sabers up here just for right now. And no, these are not uneven. For whatever reason, if you've ever assembled a DTOF, the way it works is you have the top, like there's a piece of wood for the bottom and a piece of wood for the top, and the glass slides into these little divots that they've like beveled in. And for whatever reason, this one that the bevel markings, the little pre-made bevels, I don't know if the bevel is the right word, but either way, the pre-made slots for the glass to go into was just drilled in deeper than these two. So like the shelves, as you can see, are all perfectly lined up, and the bottom ones are all perfectly lined up too. Just for whatever reason, the divots on this one here were just like 2 millimeters deeper than the other ones. That's what she said. So now I have this stupid little nook here that it bothers me. None of y'all maybe wouldn't have even noticed it, but that's why I threw the saber up there, just so hopefully it takes everyone's attention away from the fact that there's that divot. But either way, so yeah, it looks good. If you have any questions about like how any of this was set up, just let me know. Like as I said, right now this is none of this is complete. Still need my lighting. Just kind of sharing it with you guys. Once I get everything fully configured with the lighting and all that stuff, I'll give everyone an actual tour in there. Because on the other side of the room, I have way more stuff than what's here right now. This is just a newly built display I did, and I think it turned out pretty damn well. I'm liking it. Again, next week or next Monday, I'm getting something else to try for the backdrop. But let me know what you guys think of the black backdrop, and do you prefer just having it empty and just like the glass backdrop, or do you? There's also something I'm trying. In the future, what I'll probably end up doing is actually getting some custom made inserts for each one individually, and I'll probably just like like a scene to put in the background, like for Vader, I could get some more Cloud City Bespin looking backdrop to put behind it, that kind of thing. I'm thinking about doing that for some of them, maybe not all of them, but nevertheless, next week I'll have a little figure preview of or not figure preview. Well, I will have that too, but I'll have a little preview, assuming everything fits and works out. I'll have a different backdrop that I want your guys' opinion on. So, but let me know what you think of the black backdrop down below. And again, before I mentioned that I had him in the classic hands-on belt pose. Well, that was prior to doing the poses for the video here. And once I got him into the I am your father pose, I liked it too much. So I switched him over. This is how he is in the display right now. And I love it. I think it's great. So definitely totally worth getting this one just to get this Bespin display stand. Like, in my opinion, like, that's worth it enough. And especially since it's in stock from Sideshow, you don't have to pay like any premiums like as it stands right now. It's not to think the stand is really worth like what, $280? No, no, no. But if you don't have a Vader, it's a huge bonus to actually get that stand with it, in my opinion. I think it brings a whole new dynamic to the Vader figure. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping they finally get around to releasing the Bespin Luke. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They still got that just still sitting there. Like, it's announced, but because they got the old one, like the DX, what was it, 6, I think, from way back when. Like, and that one's just like really expensive right now. So I'm hoping that the reissue or redo of it, I don't know how much different it's going to be, but they showed it off at Comic-Con 2019. So I'm waiting on that one, and hopefully that comes with the same Bespin stand that not the same one, but the one that actually Luke comes with. It's a different piece of like scaffolding area that he's hanging on to. Hope it comes with that, and then I can kind of put Luke on the other side and really complete that. I think that would be a good look. So maybe, hopefully, soon they'll come out with that thing. So either way, guys, let me know what you thought about actually sharing where, this portion of the video. I'm not going to ramble on this much about the future ones because I won't have to explain what I'm doing. So just let me know what you think about actually having this little portion in here showing off where the display or the figure is on display after the review is done. Let me know what you think about that. And again, sorry, this is just on my cell phone. I don't have the actual lighting here, so this is kind of the best pictures I could kind of get from it for right now. But either way, that'll do for this. I rambled on far longer than I wanted to. I want to try to keep these reviews to like 20 to 30 minutes. So this definitely, this little portion became 20 minutes in it of itself. So thanks for sticking with me. If you did, do not forget that every Monday, our show, Honest and Uneducated, goes live. We talk about movies, movie news, video games, comic books, collectibles. There's all sorts of fun stuff like that. You can submit topics and questions to the show by emailing us at honestanduneducated@gmail.com. That's honestanduneducated@gmail.com. And then every Wednesday, the collectible reviews, these very reviews, they go up every Wednesday. Then on Friday, come join us, hang out. We do some live streaming. We hang out, play video games. I do the figure unboxings and previews, things like that. We give our first thoughts, like when there's shows like right now we got Falcon and Winter Soldier dropping every Friday, so we'll give a first impression spoiler, discussion. We'll have that. Figure unboxings, video games, all sorts of fun stuff. Come hang out, like and subscribe and all that sorts of fun stuff. Helps out the channel, so appreciate it if you do that. But then that'll pretty much be it, guys. Sorry. I don't know what's going on. I think I've just been talking for so long, I'm physically forgetting how to speak. But thanks for watching, and then until next time, guys, take care, and I will see you on the next review or the next episode of H&U. Take care.